you're using Google, then you have to integrate there, right? People who are from the Zoho team or from your any of your ATS team, they'll help you integrate that. Yeah. So that is the other aspect that you can do. Now coming to the sixth aspect, which is offer and negotiation. So offer and negotiation, it will be a mix of human requirement as well as the ATS. To create an offer, to share an offer letter, you can certainly use an ATS, right? Because this is a standard format that you'll be using. So you can eventually use your ATS to send out the offers. Whereas when it comes to negotiation, human touch is required, right? Acceptance, again, they can give you a verbal acceptance and then they can go to your site to give a confirmation, to give a acceptance there, right? So as to ensure that it is recorded in the system, and your system will eventually take out all the reports basis the days that they would have mentioned there, right? So the acceptance rate will eventually affect your metrics there. Then comes your onboarding and integration. Now, certainly, like you guys have also said, this can be done through the ATS tool or your HRMS tool, where the person can go and upload their documents like your Aadhaar card, PAN card, education documents, past experience documents, signed or appointment letter, right? Or a medical history if required. Those things can eventually be taken up here. If you want to send up some videos, some training aspects, the links can eventually be shared with using your ATS system, right? So these are a lot of things that gets covered in the ATS system. And to make your process seamless, to make everything in one place, companies often use these ATS tools so that you don't have to uh, continue with multiple Excels and see for every matrix that you have to check. You don't have to do a double counting. Your ATS will eventually do it for you, right? Now, let me just show you how the ATS will look like. And before we move on, help me understand, do you guys, what are the TA matrix that are often used or that should be considered when you're hiring? Shruti, any idea? No? There's, see, for anything that you have to do, everything has to be in numbers, right? So you'll have to understand how many positions you have filled, right? In how many days you have filled that position. What is the source of that position to be filled, right? So those are a couple of metrics that you eventually keep a track on when you're working in the talent acquisition space, right? You may also would be looking at the budget. If it was through agency, what is the cost that you have incurred, right? If it is through internal source, what is the uh, budget that you would have allotted to a recruiter to spend on, right? So those are the things that eventually you keep a track on a weekly basis and can then share with your hiring managers or with your manager to tell them how effective was your whole search, right? Now, sorry. So those are the things that you'll have to keep a track on, guys, right? Now I'm just sharing my screen and this is how the homepage of Zoho Recruit looks like. Just let me know if you're able to see the screen. Are you guys able to see the screen? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, we are able to see.
Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
clearly.
yes.
Abhishek? Yes? Okay, all right. I was not able to hear you guys. Okay, so this is how the screen looks like, which is your home page, right? Now, this account is of Ashutosh, so here it's written Ashutosh. Welcome, Ashutosh, right? Now, just to give you a clear picture, there is a couple of tabs, which is job opening, the candidates, interviews, referrals, departments, right? And then we have something called as master view, which we are looking at right now, with different other pieces also that you'll be able to see, or you'll be able to filter out. Okay. So the first table that you'll be able to see is in terms of the job postings or the open positions that are there, and then you'll also be able to see what is the status of those positions, right? So you see, because this is a recruiter account, right? There would be a separate interface for a person who is a hiring manager or who is from the HR side who can fill the requisitions. As a talent acquisition person, you can also fill the requisition, which I'll show you how to do it. But they can also eventually share that requisition with you, right? Now, here we are just looking at what the recruiter is able to see. So, in your first table, the recruiter is able to see how many positions are open and at what stage they are in, right? So, we talked about screening, we talked about interview. Submissions is where you have a resume, you have screened, you have called that person, you found that person to be relevant, and you eventually submit it to the hiring manager saying that you please go through this resume and I want to schedule the interview with you, right? Now, in the submission, again, they can maybe reject or they say, yes, you go ahead and schedule my interview according to my calendar. That's where submission comes in. Next is your interviews, which is the technical round or the hiring manager round or the skip level manager round that you'll take. The other table that you'll be able to see is in terms of offered. How many people have been offered the position, right? Which is shared the offer letter with them. And once they have accepted, they have joined, they'll eventually come to a hired stage, right? So you'll be able to see the number here, and then this is where it's showing that this product analyst in the sales position has been hired. So this has been closed, right? Then as you're rejected, people who have been rejected during interviews or people who have been rejected during screening or submissions part, the number will be shown here. And archive would be the ones who I have simply said that they are not relevant for this position. I have archived them so that they don't show it up here. You know, at times you would have seen in sales position people who don't have a base knowledge, right? Or people who are more in the data entry side. They have applied for the position which requires some 3-4 years of experience in sales, right? So I may archive them, I may use them for the future purpose, but maybe not for this role, for the junior role, right? So those are the position people name or the numbers will come here, right? I can filter them out basis on the uh, talent acquisition members that are there in my team. Right now, I have only one person, so that's why in all users or in Ashutosh, it will show me the same table. Then I can also filter this out as per the department, right? So if I filter out for the sales department, I'll be able to see only the sales positions that are open. And this will eventually help me when I'm talking to the hiring manager or when I'm talking to the business head. So I'll be able to focus only on the positions that are relevant to them, right? So this is where your ATS will eventually help you out. Any questions in this table, guys? Okay. Assuming there are none, I'll move on to the other aspects which will be shown in your homepage. which is the matrix that I was talking about, right? So your time to fill, time to hire, how old is the job requisition, offer acceptance, all these things will eventually show in your homepage so that you have a bigger idea on what is happening in your talent acquisition department. Okay. Now, time to fill is something which is uh, time that you consider between a position when you receive the job requisition, right? When your hiring manager said that these are the details of the position that I want to fill in, and you have sent out the offer and they have accepted the offer, right? So that is your time to fill. Whereas time to hire is something which is time between the position, the candidate has applied the position to the time you have hired that person, right? So are you able to understand the difference between two, time to hire and time to fill? I need some responses.
Please explain again, please.
Yes, or you want me to explain again?
Yes. Time to hire and time to fill.
Right. So time to fill, the start time would be job requisition has been approved, right? And end date of that would be candidate has accepted the job offer. Time to hire is when candidate has applied for the position or you have sourced the candidate, right? And it will end when candidate has joined the position. So that is the difference. Now, the difference here is that the insight that your time to fill gives you is how much time you have taken to complete the position, right? And time to hire is where you'll see how much time or how much speed was there when you have identified the person and the person has been accepted the job offer, right? So the difference is in terms of the representation that they are showing. Yeah. So that is what time to fill and time to hire would be there. Now, these are again two very important matrix that you eventually show it when you are to your hiring manager or to your leadership team. The other aspects are in terms of your age of job. Age of job is when the position is open and it tells you for how many days it's open, right? Every recruiter, every talent acquisition TA person will have a KPI to say that if it's a junior position, you have to close it within 15 days. If it's a mid-level position, you have to close it within 30 days. If it's a senior position, then you close it within 45 days, right? Now, if you are working in multiple positions and you're using Excel only, then it will take a lot of time for you to analyze when was the position open and then what is the status now, for how many days I've been working. Whereas if everything is through ATS, then it will pick up the numbers and you don't have to do much calculations there, right? The only thing that you have to do is ensure that you put in the right data in your ATS, which is your application tracking system, like ZOHO Recruit, right? So this is one of the matrix that it will show you. Then the other matrix also, which right now is not showing, is offer acceptance rate. Offer acceptance rate is it show the percentage of how many offers were made and out of them how many offers were accepted by the candidate, right? So at times you have made an offer doing the while doing the negotiation bit, the person declines, says no, I don't want to join your organization with 6 lakhs offer that you are presenting. I need 10 lakh at least, right? So that will be a direct reject, and it will eventually come here. The other matrix that will be more for you is in terms of the notes or the upcoming interviews, so that you can keep a track of, or how many interviews have been completed, what is the status of that person, right? All these matrix will be shown to you in first day homepage itself, so that it becomes easy for you to analyze all the positions that you're working in. Eventually, a recruiter will be working on, say, 4 to 5 positions minimum at any given point in time, right? And this ATS will eventually help you in properly putting them together and having the ready data at any given point in time whenever your manager or the hiring manager ask you on the status of the position. And you will also come to know that which is the position now I have to focus on. Okay. Any questions so far? No? For some reason, I'm not able to hear you guys.
Wanted to know how to upload these inputs into the tracker.
Huh. I'll show you. Okay. So this is one thing that would be there. You can eventually filter out the other aspects also of the way that you want to see, right? So, for example, if I go to a classic view, it will give me a very old analysis, not much matrix, just a basic thing that which is the open task and what are my today's events, things like that, right? Nothing else it will show me. And if I have to go for my personal positions that I'm working on, as a individual person, I'll be able to see these aspects, right? It will be only focused on my positions. And that is in the master one, I'll be able to see the open positions for all. Okay. I can make some changes on these tabs also, on these tables also, depending on what all things I want to keep it here, what all things I want to move it here. So this is these three tabs is what will help me in creating or managing or moving if I want some matrix to be on top, like my things to do list, I want to be on top, and pipeline view, I want to be second, right? So I can eventually manage all these things. This is the flexibility that this ATS tool gives me. Now, coming to the first aspect of our talent acquisition process, which is job requisition, right? The workforce planning, certainly it will be more manual thing that you can do. There would be some tools that can help you here, but the one that we have, it's starting with the job openings, right? So this is the first tab of the job openings that will come up. Now, as soon as I click here, it is showing me all the job positions that are open and what is the status there, right? It eventually creates a different job ID for all the positions so that you can differ or differentiate them basis the job ID only. Because at times it could be that one position and title could be open into two departments, right? For example, analyst. Now, analyst could be a part of marketing team also. The person can also be part of sales. So as to avoid the confusion and not to bypass anything, your ATS will eventually give the ID numbers which are unique for each and every positions, right? The second aspect that this here you'll be able to see is which all positions are open. Who is the recruiter that has been assigned to these positions? What is the target date? Target date means the position. When should the position be expected to fill, right? So these are the dates. What is the status right now? So you'll see some are in progress, some are filled, which means that we have released the offer. Waiting for approval is where your approval for the job requisition that you have been raised, right? So this is where the waiting for approval will come in. You can see the city in which we are hiring, the department name, and eventually the hiring manager name. Now, just don't go with this because this is Ashutosh and hiring manager is also Ashutosh. This is just a sample that we have put in. Okay. So these are the things that will come up. If you want to know more details about this position, you can also click here and you'll be able to see the all the details, right? As to what is the hiring pipeline here. Now it's all showing 0 because it is waiting for approval. You can see the status here as well, right? Here, waiting for approval. And you'll be able to see what is the target dates and the other things like how many positions are open. So all these things you'll be able to see about the position. You can also see the job description here. If you want to make any changes, you can make a change here. If you want to attach something, you can make a change here as well, right? So this will give you a total overview of what a position is like. Now going back to job openings, if you have to create a position, right? So this is one tab, create job openings, that will help you in creating a new job requisition. Import is also there, which is that you create a job, you fill in an Excel basis and you upload that Excel and those positions will come in here, right? These are mainly used for positions when they are in bulk, right? So that's where you'll see you can open this job openings. They'll give you a template on the Excel on which all data you can fill in and you eventually upload them. Then this is mass delete, mass update. There are some aspects here. Then the other feature is that you can eventually download this complete table that is showing you in an Excel also, and it will show you in a customized format, however you want it. This is mainly used when you have to share your details or the status of your positions with your leadership team, or you have to filter out in a better way to get the matrix for these positions, right? So to do everything, Excel becomes more better place for you to work on there. So you can eventually download things from here and eventually work in your offline for these positions. Then if you want to print, you can print also, and there's a filter options that you can use, right? Now we'll simply go to a job opening, but before that, quick question. Any doubts in how the job opening is? Any clarification that you guys need here?
Understood.
All good? Okay. Let's move to the how do you create a job openings, right? Now these are few basic aspects that you eventually would know when there's any job positions that open up, right? You'll have to fill in this form and then either save it for internal use, or if you want to send it out for to the other job portals, then you can publish this also as a job ad. Okay. Now here, what Zoho is doing is it's giving you some job templates also, right? As in if there any, okay, it's they don't have any here, but you can certainly create a job template. For example, if it's yours is a IT organization, right? And on a daily basis you are hiring for software developers. So you can eventually put a job template here, which can be copied for the other job postings as well. Okay. And eventually copy that, and it will be more easy for you to use it in the future aspects. So we'll use this in a while and see how to create a job template. But before that, let's look at this form. What is it saying? It is talking to us, it is asking for all these details, which is your job posting title and title. The only reason that they're different is that posting title is uh, something that a candidate will see in your job description, right? And title is something which is your internal uh, team talks about, right? Now, here, for example, my internal, I'm saying developer. Now, to a candidate, developer means a lot of things, right? So, my posting title could be I need a RPA developer, or I need a software developer who knows APN, right? So I'll post a job to attract people so that from the job title itself, they get to know for which position they are applying to, right? And to make it more relevant for the internal usage, the title keyword can be put in here. Then the other aspect is your assigned recruiter. Now, one ATS will be used by multiple recruiters, right? So who is the assignee here? In our case, it will be only one person because our team has only one person, Ashutosh. So it will show only one person, but if you have multiple, it will show multiple people here. Target date as to when you want to finish this position. What is the job opening status, whether it's in progress? It will eventually start with progress only, and then eventually can be moved for the other aspects also. If you want to, for the future references, if you want to make any changes here, you can do that. In progress, waiting for approval, on hold, filled, right? So those things also you can fill in here. Now, which industry is your company working in? So you can choose from here. Sorry. Salary. Again, you may want to put in here to attract people so that they know what is the salary bracket. If you don't want to, then you can keep it blank. Now, for India, it's certainly not a mandate thing, whereas in countries like in Europe or in US, it is a mandate that they have to disclose the salary as well, right? So that's where this part will become very important if you're using it for the other geographies. Then comes your department name, which is pretty simple to understand. Hiring manager, number of positions that are open, date opening, job type, work experience, right? So all these basic information about the job position will come into your this form, and then it will eventually ask for the job description, what kind of requirements are there, what is the benefit that you're offering, and all these things I'm sure you would have seen in your uh, open positions also. If you're applying through LinkedIn, if you're applying through simply hired anywhere, right? So companies do mention what kind of benefits, additional benefits they are giving. So all these things you can mention them. Now, your job description eventually is like a marketing tool, right? Because this is a selling point for you. This is where you want yourself to be very creative so that people are attracted to the position, they are attracted to your organization, then and they eventually apply for this role. Yeah. Before I fill out this position, just want to know if you have any questions here. Okay. Assuming all good. All good?
One doubt, like if we don't meet the date open and date to be filled, like If you take more time, then how it will show like
See, target date is more to analyze what have you put in a target for, so that your matrix can be defined. It is not like if you are not, for example, if I put a target date today as 30th of June and I've not been able to fill that position, right? It is not that this job requisition will be deleted then.
okay,
It will just show it in red saying that your target date has been over,
okay,
right? So that is the importance of your target date. Date opened is important. I mean, it's not a mandate as such, but it becomes important because it helps you calculate your day to time to fill, right? Time to hire. Those matrix are eventually gets calculated in this date that
okay,
gets opened. So that's where this date also becomes important. If you don't want to mention it here, that is also fine. The matrix, the reporting can pick up the data from the time that you have saved this job opening as well. Okay.
Can we integrate this with the website so that the candidate can apply with their resume so that we can directly see the
Yes.
how to do that?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. It can be. So this is where it comes. You see, save and publish option. It is asking me where all can I publish. Shall I be publishing on the job boards, which are integrated with your Zoho Recruit, on the career side, which is your company's career page, or on both? So once we'll eventually fill this form, we can choose in which aspect do we want our job to be posted.
Okay. So what are the
Okay.
portals we can do here? What are the portals are there? Like Naukri, LinkedIn.
So I'll show you that. Let me just fill out this form and then we'll go to the portals also. Now, there are a couple of portals which are free in nature, and there are a couple of portals which are paid portals, right? Like your Indeed, Exuna. These are Seek. These are your paid portals. So you have to integrate that with your Zoho Recruit, and eventually you can, with just one click, you can post them there as well. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
I have one question. Like Zoho does have a like Boolean stick thing and like finding candidate from that the Zoho recruiter.
I didn't get you. I'm sorry. Could you please be a little loud?
Eh, Yeah, yeah. Actually, I am working with the Bullhorn. So, and the Bullhorn, that the candidate option, we can find the relevant candidate from the using a Boolean string. So that the Zoho also have a, this kind of feature, or direct we need to like connect Indeed or something.
Okay, help me understand if I have understood properly. You're saying that for sourcing, we often use Boolean string. Now, does your Zoho Recruit helps you
So,
there or not? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, my question is here like Zoho Recruit also have this kind of feature to find the candidate from the Zoho side, or I need to like find the candidate from the other recruitment portals.
Okay, so here you'll be only be able to see people who have applied for your jobs. If you search from a different portal to connect them to your job openings, you'll eventually have to pick their details and fill or create a profile of theirs here. Zoho Recruit, as such, cannot go and search people for you using Google or LinkedIn. That you'll have to search. If the person is relevant, you'll eventually put it here. That will come under your candidate section, which will come later. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Any further questions, guys? Sorry. Okay. So let's fill this position for the marketing manager, for example. Okay. Sorry, I have a sore throat today. Here, okay, I'm not mentioning anything. Title. Assigned recruiter would be Ashutosh. Target fill date, I'm targeting 30th. Industry, I'll say, okay, IT. Okay, salary, I'm not putting anything. Now in department, again, I'll put this as a marketing. Now here, see, if the department, for example, there's no department that has been mentioned, right? So for example, if I just write this, so it is giving me a choice that it's a new apartment department that will be created with this name, right? So if it's a very new department, then eventually you can create a department name directly from here, and it will show in your tables and other scenarios as well. Or you can choose the department which is existing within your organization, or which was already there in the system, right? Now, hiring manager again here for us would be Ashutosh. Number of positions I'm saying there are two. Date of opening is today, and it's a full-time position. Again, I have an option here whether it's a part-time, permanent position, contract, temporary, training, what all things that you can put in, right? So here in work experience, if I want to fill out any, I say, okay, I need some 1 to 3 years of experience here. Skills, let's hold it on for a while. And I'm saying it's a remote job. Okay. So I don't have to fill any city, anything here. Now, coming to the job description, right? Here you can either fill out the details that you have created, you would have created, or your hiring manager or HR would have given you the job description. You can put that here. Now, the other feature of Zoho Recruit is in terms of Zia, right? Zia is their AI tool which will help you in generating the job description, or it will help you in defining the questions that you want to do for the pre-screening, which we'll also see in future, right? Now here, instead of you writing and you defining everything, you can either use a generate job description, which is by default, it will give you a base job description basis the details that you have filled in here, right? Your marketing manager position is what we are looking for, and we are looking for 1 to 3 years of experience, right? So it will create that, or it gives you a second option, which is open a prompt. Now in prompt, I can write about the things that I want. We'll try to use both the things and see which one of this will make sense for us. Okay. So let me just click on generate job description. Key fields are marketing manager. Require skills if I want to write anything. Now, marketing manager, open to you guys. Any skills that you guys think of the marketing manager should have?
B2C sales or B2B
B2C sales. Okay. What else?
good communication,
And revenue generation.
Okay. Okay.
Organizing,
Some
promoting
particular
events,
like
maybe generating leads, kind of.
Sorry.
I am saying the
Lead
advertising and
generation.
promotional efforts, branding, kind of things.
marketing strategy.
Like if it's for
Branding.
some product, like for cloud marketing manager or something, then that specific skill, cloud marketing.
Okay, advertising में SEO also comes. The person should understand what SEO is and how do you manage it, right? Okay, so we have written enough required skills here, and let's ask them to generate a job description. Okay, I'll just enlarge this. Okay. Are you guys able to see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So it's given me the job description. It's given me the summary that fast technology, and we are looking at somebody who can do a B2B marketing initiatives, who can strengthen our marketing position, which is your advertising, right? So it is capturing the details. It is also giving us the responsibilities that this person will be covering, which is on SEO, campaign management, digital marketing, B2B marketing, right? Strong brand presence. Then we gave one more revenue. Is it giving revenue here? New market segments, manage budgets, right? So it has created the job description for us. Now, basis, we have earlier mentioned that we need 1 to 3 years of experience. So it has picked the details from there, right? It has talked about the analytics platform that would be used. And this is a job description, fair job description that they have written. I can either copy it here if I want to directly move it to my job description, I can do it from here. Or if I want to make any changes, I can also write in here, right? So for example, here, I can say talk about the success factors for this role, right? As to what this role will look like. Let's see. So now it's given me the success factors for this role also, right? If I want to add this and this, I can eventually copy them here, right? I'll simply copy this one here. I'll insert a job description and everything has come up here, right? Requirements has moved here, and now it has made our job easy, right? We don't have to write much of English. We just have to ensure that it's picking up the right keywords. It's picking up the things that our hiring manager has told us, which often is just 2 to 3 lines that they give us, right? So this AI has made our life very easy on that side. Now, the other scenario, which was that if I write an open prompt, right? Now, an open prompt, it will be same as to what we had written that, okay, we need these things here. I can write it in a prompt format like you do it for LLMs like ChatGPT, Copilot, or Claude, right? So you can write them here as well. If you want to rephrase it, right? If you are not looking at um, the words are not good, you want to change these things, right? You can eventually do it. You want to make it SEO friendly so that more searches will be able to pick up, right? You can do that as well. And I'll say, okay, you insert this job description now. My job description has changed. And with just quick few formats, I'll be able to make a change in my job description and the details that I want to put in, right? Now, here in job description, just a quick pause. Do you think anything is missing here? In the job description requirements side, or has it captured everything? In any job opening that you would have seen, what all things that you eventually notice about the job position, what all things are mentioned there?
Company profile is not mentioned.
Correct. That you can eventually write from your side in the job description, right? You can make a change there. That is a usual format that you write. Here you can write about the company. Okay, what else? Anything else that you guys can think of?
The minimum to maximum expectations.
Hanji? I was not able to hear you. Could you please repeat?
Salary bar, like minimum to maximum salary bar should be added.
Salary you can eventually post it here. If you put it here, then your job boards will pick up.
Okay.
Okay?
Location.
All right. Anything else that you guys
Location
can
and
think of?
contact details.
Location again, from here it will pick up. If I would have added a address information, it will pick up here. Now I've added a remote job. So whenever it publish a job, it will show it's a remote job.
And contact details.
Anji?
Contact details. Like
Contact details, yes. That is also one thing that can be added here. At the last, you can add what all things, or if you want to add, any email ID, hr@acadmix.com, right? You can add those details. You can also add a benefit, right? Benefit in the sense, what is your company giving, as in health uh, coverage. Then, what other things that
Incentives,
uh,
incentives, leaves.
incentives, right? So all these things that you can mention here also in the benefits that will be shown in your job description. You can also mention about contact or send your resume at whatever xyz.com, right? So you can mention those details here also. Now, in a lot of organizations, people who are or the companies who are, you know, DRDO compliant, they also mention about when you apply for this role, which all areas your resume will be used for, right? So you can add that sentence also here, which is saying that, okay, we comply with the data privacy, your resume will not be shared anywhere. And within, say, 2 years of time period, your details will be deleted from our system, right? So those are also the things that you add in your job description. Then you would have seen one or two liners on your diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, right? Where you say that we don't discriminate on with respect to caste, breed, or your location, your education, things of those sort, right? So you mention all those initiatives, you mention about those things here. Now, how it will help you is because this is like a marketing tool. You are selling the job to the candidates, right? To make it more attractive, you are telling them what all things that your organizations is providing them apart from the role that they're offering, right? So that is where this benefit aspect becomes very important. And this cannot be AI generated. This is what, as a recruiter, as an HR, you will have to write in as to what all things you are offering to your candidates or to your employees, right? So those are the things that you can mention here. Any question, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Perfect. So now, once you have filled in all these details, you have rechecked whether the spelling is right or wrong. Now, here again, you see the AI of Zoho is telling me that there's two spelling mistakes. It's usually because of US and UK English that are different. So you can see there are two errors they have mentioned. I can eventually correct them. I can go here, just hover here. I can either ignore or I can say, okay, sorry, change it to UK English. Now again here, I've just hovered and it's showing me the different spelling. So I've made a change here. Now there's no error in my job description, and I can be confident that at least the spelling mistake won't be there, right? Now it's giving me three options. Either I just save it. Now, when I just save it, it is mostly for, no, as a draft that you save it, you're not publishing it anywhere. It is more for the internal use or for the future reference that you want to do it, right? Or you want to save it and you also want to publish it, right? You want to publish it on your job boards. You want to do it in career sites. You want to do it on career site and free job boards, right? So I've just clicked on job boards and career site. Now here it is not linked to anyone, but I can eventually integrate my Zoho Recruit with lot of job boards like your Indeed, LinkedIn, Seek. I can, once I integrate them, it will eventually come here, right? So right now it's only the career site which is coming here. Now you see here it's showing me don't upgrade your account to publish job openings on both free and sponsored job boards. Now because this is more for a demo purpose, that's why you're not able to see. Let me just check on open the Zoho store and see if it is showing me which all applications will be open here. 1 minute. Okay, it is not showing me, but just from the understanding and what all job boards can be done is what I'm telling you. Edzuna, Seek, you name the job board and you can integrate it here. You will have to do two things. You'll have to create an account in that job board as well for you, so as to link it here, because there it could be a paid one like Indeed. You'll create an account of your organization there. You integrate with your Zoho Recruit, and just like this career site is coming here, the other tab for your other job boards will also come, and you can eventually select them and click on next. But after clicking on next, all these in all the other job boards also it will pick up. Okay, I'll just see if I can get the details of which all job boards would be there in a while. First, let me just complete this aspect. Okay, so once we have selected the job boards, it is giving me a second option on choose the assessment. This will be a pre-screening assessment when they are applying for the job, right? So you would have seen when you're applying for the job, it's not only the resume that you upload. At times they tend to ask you questions also, right? So this is where you will formulate that questionnaire on what kind of questions that you want to ask, right? Sorry. So let's try first aspect. Let's do the all types. What all types are there? There's a pre-screening and there's a standard questionnaire. Okay. So I have selected a pre-screening. I can preview here what all questions will be asked here. Now, again, this AI has created some questions based on the job description that I have uploaded, right? Because job description was more focused on the marketing. So it has picked up the questions on those sides. What is the primary goal of a marketing campaign? Which of the following describes the best SEO? Now, I'm sure it will give me some options there. There is a drop down that will be there. Is it important to understand your target audience, right? What is the most effective channel for reaching out to a younger demographic? One key metric, right? So these answers will eventually help you understand whether the person is a right fit or not. And these assessment is where your pre-screening can be done through your ATS as well, right? CV reviews, pre-screening can be done easily here. So that was one aspect. Then there's a standard questionnaire also. Standard questionnaire mein you will get the standard things, which is, are you currently employed, highest level of education, right? Which will be standard for all the uh, positions that you can apply for, right? Now, these things are eventually, you can make a change here. You can add more questions depending on your company or your requirements, right? So, for example, if your company is working into different geographies, so here you can also add a question asking if they have a visa, if they have a work authorization, right? So, right, like here it's say without any restrictions. You can eventually edit it also, asking them what, in which visa are you in, or are you a permanent citizen, right? So these are eventually editable, and while running the whole show, as a recruiter, you'll be able to shortlist few of them. Only the admin has the right to make a changes in their questionnaire. Okay. Now this is also giving me other option, which is on pre-screening the assessment. Pre-screening the assessment is where it will let you choose the questions. It will let you define the questions, right? So let me just share another screen with you and show you how that site is looking. 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute, huh, guys. I have a sore throat. Just 1 minute. Okay. So if I have to create my own assessment, right? I'm not liking the assessment that Zia has given me. I can create my own assessment also by clicking on that link, right? Or create your own assessment, and it will eventually take me to this site. Now it's asking me to add all these details, which is assessment name. Okay, I add the assessment name, initial questionnaire. Okay. Now in this type, I say, okay, it's a general one. Description, it's up to you whether you want to write or not. Now here it is asking me to add a question, right? Or add a competency. Uh, Competency may, I'll say, okay, communication. Okay. Now question. What kind of question can I ask in the communication? How comfortable. Okay. So you can eventually put in your questions here. Or if you want some help, you can eventually click in here, and you want to simplify it, you can check grammar, rephrase it. Okay. So if I feel that this rephrase is right, I can click here. For the next question, I can eventually take a help of this one. I'll say, okay, open the prompt. Communication is what I've written. And it's given me options, right? That you can use this question as in a professional setting, which of the following demonstrates best effective communication, right? So I can eventually change this, or if I want redo is not possible here, but I can eventually I can simplify it, right? However I want, and I can move this question to my here. Now, all this is doing is it is helping me out in finalizing my assessment, right? This is where your AI is helping you out in formulating that. And you can eventually save this. Let us try and save this. It is giving us, okay, these are the two questions. We say, okay, done. And we go back to our initial one screen. Okay. Are you able to see the screen? Let us see if it's coming. Okay, it should show where we have created the screening. Okay, we'll connect it later, but you have created your pre-screening assessment here, and then eventually you can publish it. Okay, so you'll click on publish, and you'll see, okay, this positions have been posted and it will be shown in your job boards, whatever they are. You also get a URL link which you can copy. If you have a LinkedIn page, you can eventually create a post and say, okay, this is the job opening. You can click in here, which will take people to the career page and they can apply there, right? It is giving you an option to share in your social media also, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and any other if you want to integrate with. If you have integrated, you can eventually do it. Any questions so far? Any questions?
Show me whether if they are applying with that link, what will
Sorry?
see if you show me a link. No? So if their candidate is applying for the link, what we are doing now? Can you show the user interface of candidate C?
User interface for the candidate. How will they see?
Yeah. So now we have created
Yeah.
all those.
Okay. Let me just try it from here because it's still showing that it will take some 24 hours. I can show you how the job description will look like. Okay. So these are the details that would be posted here. If you're able to see the job description, once it will be posted, then you'll be able to see it in your job board also. But just because it's a user interface, which is for the demo purpose, it may not have published as such, right? But this is how it look. Or let me just check if it's there. Just because it's a demo purpose, for the demo purpose, I won't be able to show you how the candidate will look at and how they will be submitting the forms, right? That interface access I won't have. But these are the details, like any job ad shares with you, it'll come like this.
Okay. they are able to upload their resumes also. CV.
Hanji?
See, with this they can apply a job opening. So after that they can also apply, like they can attach their CV in
They
this
can
link.
simply,
CV, resume.
after they have applied, how will you see the candidate is what you're asking?
See, so now the candidate can see all this job description and all. So they can
Yes,
attach their CV in that link.
right.
Ah, okay. So after they are applying, does it helpful to see the candidate name after it?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So that is why I want to see whether it is helpful for
Yeah,
the candidate.
I'll show you how you'll be able to see the candidate who have applied for the positions. Yeah, if it's something else that you're asking, you can write in your chat because your voice is very bleak. Either it's my microphones or your speaker. I'm not sure.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible, but somewhere in between, I'm not able to hear you properly.
Okay.
Let me rephrase it. The thing that you're asking is when the candidate applies for this job role, then where do we see it? How do we see the resume of that person? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, but how the candidate will see that?
It will be posted in your career page or in the job boards that you would have shortlisted. Your Zoho Recruit has to be integrated with the job boards like your Edzuna, Indeed, LinkedIn, right? So they can eventually click there, like you click in for the while applying for the roles, and this is what the job description they'll see for you, right? And eventually they like in the last one when we published it, it also shared the URL site with us. You can pick up that site, you can do the organic or inorganic job posting in LinkedIn or in any other social media platforms using your or a company career page also. Okay,
Okay.
so that is how you'll be publishing your jobs, and eventually then you'll start attracting people for the roles.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions here, guys? Okay. So now that we have published the job, we can here see the overview. Okay. Here, see, when we go to job openings in our home page of job openings, I can see marketing manager as one role that has been opened up, right? You can click here when you're working, and you'll be able to see how many how many candidates have been screened or submitted, interviewed, and things like that, right? And eventually the other details that we had filled in, you'll be able to see them here as well. Now, required skill set, we hadn't filled anything. It has eventually picked up from the job description that was shared. Okay. If you want to make any changes here, we can also make a change here. You can simply click on edit and say, okay, HubSpot is a primary one. I need a must have HubSpot experience, right? Or if you don't want a continuous improvement thing, you can eventually remove it also. So you can make a changes here and then you can click on save and your skill sets would be saved. Now, when they are reviewing your CV of any person, it will eventually look at the skill sets and then see how the candidate is looking like, right? Now, these are the details that we have seen. There are no attachments as such. There's no interview, offer letters. All these details will come in here. Okay. Pre-screening assessment has also come in here. Now, we want to remove this assessment. We want to add our assessment, which we had created, which was the initial assessment, right? So we'll just type in here all assessments, and our assessment name was initial questionnaire, right? So we'll click in here and we'll click save. So all the people will be able to see the questionnaire that we have filled in, which is how comfortable do you feel speaking English and the other question, right? If you want to make any changes, you can eventually make a change here and add this as a pre-screening question for the people who will be applying for the role. Now, I'll just show you another sample profile, which will give you some more details on how this will look like once people have started applying for this role. Okay. So here you can see the matrix has changed. This position is for the sales manager under Scott Fisher. So when was it published? Who's the recruiter? You'll also be able to see the details in terms of which profile are we seeing, or if we have written any notes, right? So everything that you work on, any position, if you write in here, tomorrow if any other recruiter picks up, it will be more easy for them, right? They don't have to come to you and ask what is the status of this. They can eventually look in here and start the work, right? So that's the main motive of any ATS, to streamline everything and to make the data accessible for all, right? Now here for this position, I can see, okay, these are the interviews that have been taken. If I want to add any other interview, I can add it here also. And I can eventually send out a link to that person, right? But overall, this is the record is showing me if I have shared it with any vendor. Now, vendor as in third party search partners who are helping you look for a right person for this role, right? So if I've shared with any partner, I can eventually add them also here. They'll get a link. They can upload the CV of the candidate there, and it will come to my brief here, right? So that I don't have to look at 2 or 3 areas to get the candidate's profile. I'll have one simple access here for the sales manager role where I can get all the details of what the status of a person, if I have made any offer letters, what is the to-do list, everything can be done here itself. Okay. So this was the feature in your job openings. Any questions here? All good so far?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Okay.
All good.
Yeah, Shreya?
No, no, all good.
I'm not able to hear you.
He's saying all good.
Okay. All good. All right. Okay. So this is done from the job opening side. Now coming to the candidates. Okay. Now in candidates, here you'll see all the candidates who have applied for the role or who have been added by you, right? So here, for example, these are some sample profiles that are there. Now you will be able to see candidate names here, how, which city they have been, what is the stage they are in. Engaged as in they have been spoken with, but there's interview yet to be scheduled. They haven't been rejected, right? So they are in some stage of the engagement, whether it's a pre-screening or the interview stage or the negotiation stage, right? So that's where it's showing all the engaged parameters. Then it's the time. When was the last time these positions were edited? What is the source of these candidates, right? So the source becomes eventually important because this is also the matrix that will help you understand from which source you are getting the maximum candidates from. Okay. So some are from your resume inbox, some are added by the user, some are imported, some are through Seek portal, and the candidate owner, who's the recruiter, is the is the one who will come in here. Okay. Now, as soon as your job gets published, people start applying. Your you will be able to see the candidates here along as well, along with the job openings that are there. So if you'll click there also, you'll be able to see who all people are there, right? I'll just show you here as well. 1 minute. For example, in this one, there's one candidate in the interview stage. And if you click on interview stage, you'll be able to see who's there in the interview stage, right? If there's anyone in the screening stage, you can eventually see the details here as well. Now coming to candidates, here in candidates, it's all the candidates that will be shown here to you. Okay. I can increase my records also, but I think there are only 4 people for now, so it's coming here. I can rate them here directly. By clicking on their name, I get all the details. The candidate ID is the unique ID that your ATS will give it to a person, so that and it will be unique so that it's more easy for them to relate to that person, right? It has given me the mobile number, the phone number, everything, the address, all the details that the person would have filled in while posting their profile would be updated here. Okay. Now from the evaluation stage, it could be an interviewer who is mentioning all these things, or it can be a recruiter, right? Or if you have received a verbal evaluation also, you can simply add a review. So with the review, I'll say, okay, this person has 2 rating. Overall comment is what I can write here. And a screening review. Okay. So it's giving me all the evaluation criterias, right? On which basis have I done this, right? It's checking on the behavioral aspect of that person, which is how good are you with handling pressure, or in this case, Christina, right? So I'll mention all these aspects that my hiring manager or the interviewer has told me, and I'll update it here. So these are the things that will eventually help me in taking out a briefing as to where this person was an average, right? Or where this person has been outscored themselves. What are you looking for a new for in your next job, right? Now it's given a rating, but comment will be more helpful here, so I can write a comment that what did they say, better pay, right? So all these things, if stored in one place, can eventually help me for the future also. In case if tomorrow Christina applies for a new role, I can eventually refer to these documents as well, that this person had applied for the earlier roles and has been evaluated. And these were the comments they have mentioned, right? And I can click on submit, right? Now I've not completed that, that's why it's not picking up. But you can eventually add the evaluation part here as well of that person. Okay. Now, looking at the other profile, for example, all right, so more or less this is how it will look like on the candidate stages. If you want to add any candidate from your side, so for example, one person had asked earlier, what if I have sourced that person, right? Now, because you cannot eventually do a search also through ATS, you'll have to add people into ATS if they have been sourced from somewhere, like your LinkedIn, or they have mailed you, right? It may not come here. So eventually you can create a profile for them by clicking on this sign button. You can add their details, first name, last name, all the details that you want to add or you want to keep in mandate. You want to add their resume, you can click on add here from your desktop, wherever you have stored. You can click in here and you can save. Now, again, after adding all these details, you have two options. Either you save it as a profile or you save an associate. Save and associate will tell you for which position are you connecting it with. So let me just give out some details so that it will eventually pick up 30. Let's see if it's picking up things from here. Okay, it has created a profile and it is asking me to which position do I want to associate this with, right? So I'll say, okay, marketing manager is one position that I want this to be associated with. And I'll, if there's any change in the application status, then I can also click on here. If I have directly submitted to the hiring manager, I can click on, okay, submitted to the hiring manager, and I click on associate, right? Now, it will show me that this person is engaged, which is that it has moved from your pre-screening round, right? It is in process right now. And same case, if I go back to my here in job openings, my marketing manager position, I'll be able to see one candidate is what I have submitted, right? If I click on here, see the details have come in here also. So I don't have to go to candidate. All as a recruiter that I have to do is I have to go to job opening and I have to see this site and it will show me which all candidates have been associated with it and what is the status of these people, right? So this is where you can add people, you can review the new profiles that have come in or the profiles that have been submitted, right? Any questions?
If one candidate applies and he got rejected by ATS and he applies back again, updated resume, so what will happen?
Yes. So eventually you will get two details here. Now in the sample, I don't have these things, but if the person is applying from the same email ID, then it will connect to the old candidate ID itself, right? Because candidate ID, it will associate with the email ID or with the name or with the phone number. Now, if it has changed a little bit, it will create a new requisition. Now, to the previous point where all the details are same, only the resume has changed, it will tell you, it will throw you the details that it has applied for these two positions, or even if it's the same position, it will tell you that this person has applied twice.
Okay.
Okay, so these are few things that your ATS can eventually detect, but it can only detect if the details are same. If the person has, for example, changed the uh, ID, email ID, it is using a different ID, then it will be considered as a new person
Okay.
for ATS. Yeah.
And if two recruiters get the same resume,
Huh.
duplications will happen, right?
They
Data.
will be able to see that this person has applied for these two positions and what is the status there.
Okay.
Because it's the unique ID is same, right? So when they'll open it, they'll be able to see that which all positions they have applied to, and even in the past, if they had applied for any other position, and what was the status. Okay. Any other questions, guys? All right. So today we have understood how the homepage looks like, how you create a job posting, job requisition for these roles, right? And also how do you add the candidates, right? So these are a couple of features which are eventually the base for any ATS. Most of the ATS works in the similar manner. They'll show you the similar dashboards. There would be just tweaks somewhere here and there, not much of a difference in that, right? There could be some added on features in Darwin Box. There could be some add-in features in Zoho Recruit as compared to Darwin Box. But more or less, all the ATS works in the similar format, right? Now, we have also covered a little bit on the pre-screening questionnaires to be added, right? Tomorrow, we'll eventually see how the interview orchestration can be worked through the Zoho Recruit. We'll also see if you want to create a customized reports, how can we do that, right? Or if you want to have a separate um, assessment, separate portals that we can integrate for psychometric testing or assessment, then how do we do that with the Zoho Recruit? What all features that from the AI aspect your Zoho eventually provides, right? So far, what we have seen is more of from the automation side, apart from writing the assessment questionnaire and writing the job description. Most of these things are automated, right? So we'll just see on what all features are on Zia. And just to give you an example, Zoho Recruit can also be integrated with your ChatGPT LLM, right? If you have an account there. So you can connect it there also, and you can eventually create a job descriptions or templates for writing to the candidate using ChatGPT, right? So these are a couple of features that we'll eventually discuss tomorrow. But so far, any questions that you have for from today's class? And if you guys can open your videos, it will be really helpful for me to at least see the expression that you have.
Hi, Dilji.
Hi. After a long time, huh? You have missed a couple of classes.
Actually, I went to Rishikesh with my family last week, so couldn't like do the classes.
Okay. No problem. Just catch up on your sessions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Perfect. All right, guys. Any questions that you have for today? All right. See you all tomorrow. We'll continue with Zoho Recruit. Yeah. Take care. Bye.
Bye.